my name is Davis and welcome back to the video, and today we are here for another severe weather breakdown. Now we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, including a severe thunderstorm system that will move through portions of the deep south, some tropical activity, and a lot of snowfall. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the SPC outlook for today, where we have no marginal risks of severe weather, but we do have a very large thunderstorm risk extending all the way from California back into the central and southern plains, so look out for that. Moving on to tomorrow, we have a marginal risk of severe weather across portions of north central Oklahoma. This extends from Norman back up to Tulsa, almost out to Woodward, so look out for that. Tornado threat for tomorrow, we do not have a tornado threat as of right now. Same thing for the damaging wind threat. Tomorrow is going to be a hail event, okay? So if you're in that brown area tomorrow, you're going to have a 5% chance to see hail 1 inch or larger at your house, okay? So look out for that. Moving on to Monday here, we have a slight risk of severe weather across portions of the Dixie Alley. This is going to be your classic fall storm setup as this storm heads to the southeast and becomes much larger. An enhanced risk cannot be ruled out of the question, but has not been issued right now. If they do issue one, I will go live on this on Monday, so keep an eye out for that. This slight risk extends from Lufkin back over to Jackson. Alright, National Hurricane Center. We do have a disturbance that has a 0% chance of form. Now, this was going to be a potential tropical cyclone, but never actually formed into one. And I hate to be that guy, but I did say at the very beginning that no, this was not formed into anything. And I stuck with that, my whole hypothesis through this thing, okay? So this is officially done, unless it recycles again for like the millionth time. Eastern Pacific here, we have disturbances at 10% chance to form the next 7 days and a 10% chance to form the next 48 hours. That is weakening, and it's not going to make landfall even if it did form. So literally just a fish storm, maybe even just some showers. Watches, warnings, and advisories. Special weather statements in effect for much of New Jersey, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, even the Delmarva Peninsula. Okay, those are all going to be for your fire danger today. Gusty winds, low humidity, and some warmer temperatures for this time of year will be possible, so be careful out there today. Winter storm watches in effect in portions of Utah in the blue there, okay? Some areas could see a decent amount of snow, but we're going to break that down more in a minute. Purples are going to be your winter weather advisory. Same thing, a lot of snow. Okay, that's it for right now. Finally here, let's go ahead and move on to the winter weather forecast, okay? So, playing this radar loop out into 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, okay? Compare that to whatever your local time zone is. We can see that we get a lot of snow dumped on many areas, so we're going to break it all down for you right now. We're going to start off with Washington here, where central portions of Washington could see anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of snow if you're in extreme isolated areas in the mountains. There was a 4.2-inch reading here near the Snowgrass Mountain, even a 5.7-inch reading there as well, okay? So some areas exceeding 5 inches of rain, 5 inches of snow. There's even an 8.2-inch reading here, southwest of Emmons Glacier. So winter weather advisory is in effect. Over a half foot of snow possible in some areas in west central Washington in the next 24 hours. So definitely look out for that. Southeastern portions of the state could get a dusting of snow upwards of an inch around the Dayton region, and then same thing for the northeastern portion of the state around Colville and Spokane. Idaho is going to be another state that gets a decent amount of snow here over the next 24 hours. Pretty much the entire state is at least in for a dusting of snow. You get in the southwestern portions of the state here, extreme southwestern portions of the state, you could get 1 to 2, maybe even isolated areas up to 3 inches of snow. So look out for that. Then you get into like central Idaho here. That's where you're going to get your main snow dumpage if you're in Idaho, okay? These darker blue colors are going to be your spots that indicate 3 to 5 inches of snow. So you got to look out for that, okay? That's some decently heavy snowfall in this area. Unfortunately, we cannot get a very good accurate reading, but just keep in mind that that doesn't mean that you're not going to see snowfall just because you can't get a good reading. Like that 0.6-inch reading there, you're going to see way more snow than that. There's literally a 2.6-inch reading right next to it. So, don't take this map super accurately. Just take it with a grain of salt. The Panhandle of Idaho, the Big Bend of Idaho, pretty much anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow kind of just scattered around the place. There is a 2.4-inch reading here just east of South Butte, so look out for that. Montana, okay, western portion of the state, extreme western portions of the state around the Missoula area could get a dusting of snow, but once you get onto the Montana-Idaho border, that's where you start to see your 1 to 2 inches of snow, okay, so look out for that. Then we got Wyoming here, where south central and southeastern portions of the state could get a dusting of snow around the Rawlins area, so look out for that. Same thing for extreme western portions of the state around the Jackson area, upwards of half an inch of snow or more. Utah, this is where we have our winter storm watches in effect. Now, this is not the winter storm that they are hinting at, but it is the beginning of it, okay? So we could see a few inches of snow around the Salt Lake City area, so you gotta look out for that. Unfortunately, once again, we cannot get a very good accurate reading, but that dark blue right there around the Twin Peaks is going to be 3 to 4 inches of snow over the next 24 hours, so look out for that. So yeah, like Logan, Ogden, Layton, Salt Lake City, Grouse Creek, yeah, all these areas here definitely in for a few inches of snow, so look out for that. But again, this is not going to be your main snowstorm. That is going to be happening a few days later, okay? So we'll keep an eye out on that. Nevada, surprisingly, probably one of the most impacted states out of everywhere in the next 24 hours. The southern portion of the state could see nothing around the Las Vegas area, but then you get into like the central portion of the state around the Ely area, you could get upwards of half an inch of snow. You get into northwest Nevada, okay, that's where you start to get into your few inches of snow territory, alright, so you gotta look out for that. And then you get into extreme west central Nevada here on the Nevada-California border around the Carson City area. That's where you're really going to get some significant snowfall, okay? Definitely upwards of half a foot of snow possible. There are some 5-inch readings here on the California-Idaho border, so look out for that, okay? I'm sure if we tried, we could probably get one of those, you know, just like stray 8-inch readings. So you got to look out for that. About a half foot of snow around the western Carson City area possible. That brings us to California. Northwestern California could see upwards of an inch or two of snow. There's a 1.8-inch reading in that area, 2.4, 2.5 even. So maybe upwards of 2.5 inches of snow. Northeastern portions of the state could get a few inches of snow. And then you get down into the east central portions of the state on the California-Nevada border. And once again, upwards of half a foot of snow possible, so you got to look out for that. You get into like more southeastern portions of the state a little bit here, you could get a dusting of snow as well, so keep an eye on that. Arizona, okay, northern portions of Arizona could actually get a decent amount of snow in the next 24 hours, upwards of half an inch, just north of Flagstaff, okay, so you got to look out for that. New Mexico, northwestern portions of the state, same thing. Bloomfield, you could get a dusting of snow, upwards of a quarter or maybe even a third of an inch. Oregon here, okay, northeastern Oregon could actually get a good amount of snow here. There is a 3.8-inch reading south of the I'm gonna pronounce that wrong, I'm not even gonna try. North of the Red Mountain here in Oregon, so look out for that. In that isolated area, you could get upwards of half a foot of snow possibly. And then kind of the rest of the state, just like your general dusting, except for southwest portions where you could get a few inches of snow, so look out for that. And then we got, what else have I not covered? Colorado, I believe, is the final state in the Northwest that I need to cover. Colorado here, western portion of the state could see over half an inch of snow, so look out for that. Kind of making its way into the Denver metropolitan area, just barely here around the Golden area, kind of into the suburbs, so look out for that. But that's it for the Northwest and the Southwest snow. We're going to move on to the Northeast here, okay? So we're going to actually start off with New York today, where Utica, Syracuse, and kind of this whole area up here around Auburn could see upwards of an inch of snow, so look out for that. Vermont, northern portions of the state could get a dusting of snow, same thing with New Hampshire, and then Maine, okay, this is where we really start to see some action. Northern portions of Maine here, extreme northern portions of Maine around the Eagle Lake, New Canada, Portage Lake, that's where you could get 1 to 2 inches of snow, so be wary of that. That's going to be it for today. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.